Hi, the notable literacy educator that I chose to research was Dr. Donald J. Liu. Who is Dr. Don J. Liu? Dr. Don Liu is a major researcher in new literacies for children ages 5 through 18. He is also the director of a new literacies lab at the Neag School of Education. Dr. Don Liu graduated from Michigan State University, Harvard University, as well as Berkeley University. The history of Dr. Don J. Liu. He joined the Peace Corps as a teacher in English as a second language. He also taught 4th and 5th graders in California as a reading specialist. Dr. Don has many awards. Many of Dr. Don's awards are the A.B. Herr Award from the Association of Literacy Educators and Researchers for Distinguished Service in Reading. He received the Green Honors Chair from Texas Christian University. He also received several medals. One of the medals was the Marianne Manning Medal from the University of Alabama in Birmingham for exemplary leadership in reading, research, and practice. Another medal he received was the Friday Medal for Innovation and Leadership in Education from North Carolina State University. He was later elected to the Reading Hall of Fame of the International Reading Association in 2007. Many of Dr. Liu's accomplishments are he published over 100 research publications. He has 17 books that were published on new literacies and learning, such as reading, writing, and comprehension. He appeared in the documentary Out of Print, which was directed by Vivian Roman, and it was narrated by Meryl Streep. He is the past president of the Literacy Research Association. He is also a former member of the board of directors of the International Reading Association. So he has many accomplishments throughout his life dealing specifically with literacy. His Educator Perspective is he's an international authority on literacy education, especially with the new strategies and new skills required for reading, writing, and learning to read with the internet technologies. He's also comes up with the best instructional practices that will prepare students for the new literacies that are ahead. I found this really cool interview with Dr. Liu. The author is Melissa Zarek, and she was able to sit down with Dr. Liu and interview him. Some of the questions that I found that were really interesting was they talked about the new literacies that are brought on by technology, and Dr. Liu mentioned that the information communication technologies as reading, writing, and communication skills, they are not limited to just that though. They also could include reading with word processors, communicating through email, comprehending and critically evaluating information on the internet. So her next question was, beyond providing current technology, how can districts help students? I really liked his answer for this. He talks about, along with the new literacies, the educators themselves should be knowledgeable in the new technologies that are coming about. Much of his work was also published or supported by the U.S. Department of Education and funded, so he was able to dig more into it. I found this a little alarming. Districts are allowed to spend 30% of their technology budget on staff development, but in average, the districts are only spending 6%. So they're not using their technology budget to benefit their teachers' professional development, which is a little alarming because as educators, we do need to be educated ourselves on what we're expecting our students to learn. Another cool thing about this interview was she asked about a success story, and he used Oswego, which is a school up here in upstate New York. And he explains that they're a very small district, they're not wealthy, but they have a wonderful leader who has a plan, and he or she is very open to more staff development. So that was really cool that that was an upstate New York school that is heading in the future direction of technology and new literacies. He mentions that one of the greatest challenges that he faces is helping the reading and literacy education communities to recognize that the world is changing. I took that to understand that, like many schools and reading communities, they are still kind of stuck in the past where you have to have a hard copy of everything or like a library, and it's hard for them to accept change, which it would be hard for anybody to accept change. But our world is constantly changing, and that's what he mentions, that we as educators need to embrace that and help our students embrace that, because they're going to eventually be the teachers of the world, and they're going to need to know how to do things, because one day things are just going to all be on technology or based on the internet. He mentions we need to recognize that the essence of reading, writing, and communication has expanded, and it will always expand. I liked one of the articles I had found earlier mentioned that he says that what is new today is not going to be the new tomorrow. It's something new is always going to be coming out every day or every several weeks, or it's going to constantly be a change. But this interview gave some insight, which was really nice because it was actually his words, and there were important questions that helped me to understand his viewpoints of new literacies and how we can help our children. And then I have my references. Many of my pictures did come from Google because it was easily accessible. But I did have the question and answer. I looked up his biography, which is on one of the websites for the Neeg School of Education. So that was really cool. I got to read up on him, and then more just Google images. I couldn't actually find like pictures of like his awards or anything, so I did the clip art. And that's my show, my slideshow. Thank you.